Hey everybody, it's Susanna from Papercraft Planet, and I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on faux metal embossing. And this is a fabulous little technique. It's great for masculine cards, but it's also really handy around the holidays. Take a plain piece of paper and some silver or gold embossing powder and make your paper look like metal. It die cuts, it's flexible, it's very inexpensive. You can embed your stamps in it, and the possibilities are endless. So, let me show you how to do it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is break out our Versamark. And Versamark is just a water marking ink. It's very slow to dry. Um, so I've cut a die cut, and I am using a memory box die called Cityscape Nightline. And I'm just completely covering it in Versamark, and then I'm going to move it into my Powder Pal, and I'm going to cover it with some Ranger Tinsel Silver embossing powder. And I want it, this is for a holiday card, I want a little bit of sparkle. This is faux metal. You can use this with gold, you can use this with silver, but the reality is any color embossing powder will give you a very similar effect, and white over and over again ends up giving you kind of a porcelain look. So I love it. My tweezers are a little stuck, but all we're going to do here is just heat it up. And you want to heat this until your powder completely melts and looks glossy. If you've never embossed before, it's really fun. It's kind of like watching magic happen when it all of a sudden you see that sandy gray powder become gray and metallic and take on that shine and that glitz. You'll know when it's done. You'll feel it transform. And let me get my tweezers stuck out of here. I don't want to burn my fingers. You'll know that it's completely embossed because your paper will start to warp, and you can put it under a heavy book to flatten it out, or just put a significant amount of tape on the back side when you hold it down. But for it to warp is completely normal. So here we go. This is one coat. We're going to ultimately do 4 coats like this. And there are some really fast crafters out there who can do this and then promptly take the warm paper and put it back into the embossing powder and then reheat it. And they work quickly enough where the embossing powder will stick. I have never had a lot of success with that. I'm just not quick enough. So I'm just going to use the Versamark over and over again and let it cool in between each time. And I'll just take my powder tinsel and put it right back in the jar and do this over and over again. I'm not trying to be neat. I really am trying to be fast. And I'm sorry about the glare on the top corner. Unfortunately, I work during the day, so my chance to do stuff like this is generally in the evenings, and on our weekends we're doing family stuff. So it's dark in here and I'm working by the light of one light. So here we go. This is coat number 2. And already you can see, and I'm sorry, I asked Santa Claus to bring me a better video camera, so hopefully we'll get some more crisp, close-up, sharp videos in the hopefully near future. But we're going to heat this up. You can already see that it's taking on a metal look and feel. That additional layer of embossing powder has added shine, but it's also started to smooth out and really take on an almost sheet metal appearance, which I really like for the Cityscape die cut. So now we're going to put on one more coat and then the hard. Okay, here we are. I've done 3 coats of Versamark and then the tinsel embossing powder, and I'm getting ready right now to do a 4th coat. I've pulled out the sentiment that I want to deboss into the warm embossing mixture, and I have it sitting on a very juicy stays on ink pad. Any permanent ink works well. I picked black because it shows up a little bit better against silver. You want to make sure it's a juicy pad. Um, Take it from me and personal experience, you need this to be very wet ink. And I happen to have a StazOn re-inker, so I re-inked mine right before this project. So it's a very wet pad and I have it sitting there ready so that as soon as my powder is melted, I can go ahead and take my stamp and press it firmly into place. So I'm trying to concentrate my heat a little bit extra where I want my sentiment to go, and then I'm going to press it deeply, use a good amount of pressure, and hold it. Try not to wiggle back and forth, and then you're just going to lift straight up, and that's it. And again, I'm sorry, this is really difficult to see on camera, but I'm going to show you some stills, and you'll get to see what it looks like.